Good morning and a blessed Easter to all. As I walk into God's house this Easter morning, as you can tell, I haven't taken down any of the paraments that were set up for Lent when we closed the church. As you can tell, things haven't been the same. Of course, with God, all has changed. It's Easter morning. He is risen. He is risen indeed. And we celebrate that fact. But the church itself, we can't gather. So this is really the first time I'm in here to say a few words from the pulpit, and I'll probably record my Easter sermon today. The one thing that is kind of sad is church is more than a house, I get it, but it is the house of the Lord, where we worship, where we bow down, where we gather as community to celebrate word and sacrament. As the early church did, and we're studying that, the early church, they would gather together with a pastor, with a teacher. They would study the word, and most of them weren't able to read. So he would teach, he would speak, they would listen, and then they would gather at the holy table, the altar. They would partake of the sacrament, the Lord's Supper. We haven't been doing that for a little bit, and that's sad. You know, some churches are doing online communion, and, well, I'll tell you right now, I don't get it. It's not to be allowed, but in some trying times that will be discussed later. But it's about coming together. It's about coming together over God's body and blood. We miss that. Oh, in a few more weeks, we'll do it again. But for now, we have to listen to the words of our leaders. And we don't do that. But for now, I'm going to set this down. Hear the words of the gospel lesson for today from Luke 24, 1 through 12. But on the first day of the week, at early dawn, they went to the tomb, taking the spices that they had prepared. And they found the stone rolled away from the tomb. But when they went in, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. Oh, they were perplexed about this. Behold, two men stood by them in dazzling apparel. And as they were frightened and bowed their faces to the ground, the men said to them, "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, but has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still in Galilee, that the Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and on the third day rise." And they remembered his words. And returning from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and to all the rest. Now it was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, and the other women with them, who told these things to the apostles. But these words seemed to them an idle tale, and they did not believe them. But Peter rose and ran to the tomb. Stooping and looking in, he saw the linen cloths by themselves, and he went home marveling at what had happened. This is the gospel of the Lord. And until we meet again, a blessed Easter greetings from Faith Lutheran Church.